People, welcome back to Organized Chaos. I'm so happy to be saying that. It's been a while. I know it's been a long while. We're in a new location as per, but that's just how we run things around here. We just keep pushing, we keep going, and we're back. It feels so weird to be doing long form videos because over the last couple weeks I've been focusing on making like my TikToks and growing my personal brand and my Instagram. So we're back here, we're doing the long form, and it's actually great to be back. We're actually in a new spot right now. We're in like this office space that Joe found. So shout out to producer Joe, man. Producer Joe is still with us, and it's crazy. We were even talking just about like manifestation and things like that. So I'll get onto that later and whatnot, but it's just cool to be in a nice new space. I like trying new things, and I feel like this podcast is kind of at that point where it's just in those growing stages. So it's nice to be here. As you can tell, I'm not with a guest today. This is a solo episode. This is solo episode 2, and I'm so happy to be here. We've posted 3 episodes so far, and I've loved making every single one of them. And I haven't been as consistent as I wanted to be, but that's something that I want to talk about today, because on this platform, I want us to be like as honest and as open as we can creatively, and not just talk about how to reach your goals and all that stupid stuff, because I think everybody knows the generic things to reach their goals, but like actually how it is and how it affects you when you want to be a creator, because it's such a distinctive path in a way. Damn, holy voice break. Ignore that. It's such a distinctive path. It's such a distinct path that I don't think is that relatable unless you do it. So that's why I kind of want this place to be a place where I'm honest about my experience and how it is. You can tell it's been a while since I recorded a podcast, bro. This is so strange. But today we have a lot of things that I want to talk about. I remember the last solo episode, it was kind of an introduction to the platform. But today I kind of wanted to talk about a question that I had from a viewer. If you guys have any questions, just DM me the question. I'm here to help. Like, that's the point of this podcast. It's a podcast for creatives where we're all able to come and feel a part of a proper community. And I kind of want to, damn, voice break again. There'll be a lot of those. Golly. Boy, I'm ill, boy. That's why I like ignore me, chat. But yeah, I kind of just want it to be a place where we can come here and be honest and help each other out, man. And just really talk, bro. Like, I don't like gatekeeping. Like, I don't see the point in it. The reason I create is to create. And I do this for free, bro. I do this for free now. One day I'll get paid to do it, and I don't really care too much about that, but I do this out of enjoyment, bro. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's where I want it to be, if that makes sense. But I'll get on to my man's question that we had later. So yeah, that wraps up that. Like, bro, if you guys have any questions, you know where to find us. You can DM us, and you can DM me personally as well if you guys have any kind of questions. So I don't even want to keep this episode too long today. I think there's a lot of things that I want to talk about on these solo episodes, but I obviously have to stick to like a couple things at a time. I don't want these solo episodes to be too long because I want that time to be focused on when we're talking with the guests. But one thing that's been on my mind lately is consistency. I think having goals and being so ambitious, not me personally, but anyone who is, it's so easy to get lost in the sauce and want to try everything and do everything. Like for me, for example, I'm like, I want to do this. I want to make content. I want to have a podcast. I want to direct things. I want to film things. I want to creative direct things. I want to style. But there's so many different things, and I'm not Superman at the end of the day, and we have to be realistic. And I think wanting to create everything is obviously a great thing, but it makes it so hard to be consistent. And towards the back end of 2020, what year was it? What year just went? 2025? Yeah, towards the back end of 2025, I kind of realized that I mean, in general, I never really believed in New Year's resolutions. I don't really think they're obviously a real thing, but they're not realistic because they only last for a little bit of time, and they're just kind of there to make you feel better going into the new year. But I think the main thing that stood out for me was having one thing which I try to do. Damn. I have one thing which I try to do. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a goal. It doesn't have to be a number. But this year, I said, like, it's the year of just being consistent. It's not attached to any kind of outcome. It's not like, it doesn't have a monetary value to it. You know, it doesn't have like a number to it. It doesn't have an end goal to it. It's just being consistent. No matter where I get, whether I make $1 million this year or zero, it's just consistency. That is the plan. Because I think you have to start at the foundation, especially when you're creative. You have to ensure that as much as it's different from everything else in the world, it also has the same building blocks as everything. Like, you can't go anywhere and not put in hard work. Like, this is going to sound quite shallow, but I used to kind of have this mentality when I was way younger that, like, oh yeah, it will just like fall into my lap. It will just happen. Like, I used to want to be an actor, for example, and I used to think, oh yeah, one day I'm just going to walk into an audition room and I'll just get the role. Like, it will just happen. But that's not how things work. And obviously it might feel like that, but it's only after time and time and time and time and time again at trying something that you'll actually get that break and get that thing that you've been trying to find. But that's the thing. Even at that point, you're not done. You have to stay consistent. You have to have that building block inside you of, you know what, despite this or despite that, I'm going to keep going. And you could only do that as well if you really, truly like creating. I think a lot of people want to make content nowadays, for example. A lot of people kind of want to get in that like social media scene because everybody kind of sees all the money you can make with it, etc. And that's fine. But a lot of people don't like it. Like, a lot of people actually don't enjoy making content. Like, the process of making content. For example, to come here today, like, on a Saturday, me and Joe had to take time out of our day to come here. Like, I had to take a train here. Like, Joe has work to do. He's doing it now. Shout out Joe. Come here, set up, put the lights up, sort out where we're going to film, all this and all that. And all like even the logistics planning, me like having to come up with what to talk about for the episode, all those things. A lot of people don't like doing that. And this can go for anything artistically, by the way, whether you paint, whether you make music, whether you direct films, whether you're an editor, whether you're a color grader, whatever you do, you have to actually enjoy the process. Like, and it's hard because I think everybody wants to get into the scene and try all these things, but don't actually enjoy the process of it. They just want that outcome or that money after it. And no, that's a bad thing to want, because at the end of the day, shit, we all got bills. But I think that's where the consistency thing comes in, because it's easy to be consistent with something that you actually enjoy doing. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to be hard work, you know? Like, nevertheless, even though yesterday, like, I've had a very busy week, and the last thing I wanted to do was get up today at 9 a.m. and get ready. But I was like, bro, I know that I actually enjoy this. Like, I enjoy the whole process, and I enjoy like having a bit of hard work and something that I have skin in the game for. Because if I don't come here today and record this whole platform and this plan that I have is going nowhere. So that's the first thing I'd want to say about consistency. I think to be consistent, make sure you're actually doing something that you enjoy and that's worth the sacrifice. Like, it's so easy for me to like sit here and be like, be consistent, but give it a go with what you want to do. And like, back to the content example, because I know a lot of you guys want to start making content. Give it a go. Like, actually try it. And when you're doing it, actually see, do I like setting up the camera? Do I like finding the perfect shot? Do I like editing for hours? Like, actually see if you enjoy that. And not like everything in life is hard work. Like, everything good in life is hard work. Like, you can't ever escape hard work, but you can choose what hard work you do. So in the same light, if you want to be consistent at this whole creative stuff, content, etc., you have to make sure it's something you actually enjoy and can stay consistent at, because otherwise it's not gonna happen, mate. It's just nothing's gonna happen to it. And one thing I have written down here is, you're getting better, you just don't see it. And I think that's true, bro. You, no matter what you're doing, if you're doing something consistently, the outcomes, whether or not that's views, that's money, that's the amount of like bookings you're getting, isn't always proof of you getting better. Obviously it is some proof of you getting better, but the fact that you're putting those reps in and continuously going back to what you're doing, and you're still pushing despite like no real quote unquote results, you're still getting better, bro. Like, there's no way you're gonna be consistent at something and not get better. It's just impossible. It's impossible. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how many videos I've made in my lifetime, but I've made probably over, like, I would like to say 200 videos. Like, I've made bare videos, like, since I started making videos. And that's all types of videos, from YouTube to TikTok to podcasts, whatever. Like, I've made so many types of videos, and I've only been able to get to this point because I just put the reps in and just kept getting better and better. Now, granted, there's been times where that's been rewarded by views and money, and there's been times where it hasn't. Like, right now, I'm being so consistent, but my views might not reflect that. However, I can see that the quality of my content is getting better. Like, everything is getting better in terms of all those different things and intricacies that come to making content. And I feel like the point that I'm trying to get here is, that's where you should get the validation from. It's kind of weird that, like, the creative space has become so corporatized and everything is based on money, brand deals, all that kind of stuff, because that's not the reason I started making videos and content. The reason I started doing it when I was like, 12 or 11, and the reason why I always enjoyed creative stuff is because it was just a way of self-expression, bro. Just a way of connecting with people and just being able to express myself. I just find it fun, bro. Like, I can't not find it fun. Do you know what I mean? And I think with everything being so money focused or like views focused, people forget that you can still grow. Like, you can still, it's weird because the creative space has become so corporatized, like I was saying, like with brand deals, all that kind of stuff, to where being a creative, you've kind of become like an like a billboard, bro. It's really weird. And for me personally, that's not the reason I started making videos. And that's like a discussion for another day. But that's why I think there's so much emphasis on views, eyes, like how many people are watching your videos, virality and stuff like that. And it kind of just puts everybody into this like vacuum of, okay, I need to be the biggest. Just because you're getting a lot of views and doing well doesn't actually mean you're providing people with like real value. And not to sound pretentious again, because I don't want this to come off like as like a pretentious talk and like, oh my god, we're just like misunderstood artists. But I actually feel like the reason people create is to have some kind of impact on someone, whether or not that's entertainment, like actually teaching them something, making them feel something. I think that's why we do it. You want to make someone feel some kind of emotion. Like, for example, here, I want you guys to tap into yourselves and know that, like, you can do it, gain a bit of inspiration, and try to voice things that I've learned along the journey for you guys, so that you guys can implement them in your journey. And you don't have to take every piece of advice that I say. Bro, I'm just a 23-year-old with a mic and a laptop. Bro. So yeah, I think it's important to realize that the value, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. The value is in what you're creating, not necessarily the outcomes. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people who create a lot of great stuff, but don't have a lot of eyes on their stuff. And don't let that discourage you, because that's when you're gonna stop being consistent. When you're like, oh no, I'm not reaching these goals. Oh no, I'm not doing this and that. No, just because you're not getting the results that you want doesn't mean that that's a sign to stop. And that's kind of why I'm bringing it to the whole thing about like views and this space being like so like corporate and like just being like an advertising board, because it makes people give up before they actually realize, yo, let me stay in my lane, let me create, let me do my own thing. And after that, that's when I'll reap the reward of like the hard work that I've put in. I think that's the saying. Hey man, I don't do English for a reason. Yeah, that's why, like, another point that I put here is lead with authenticity, not with views. Obviously, views get you paid. We know that, no matter what you do. The more eyes that see something, the more likely you are to get paid. That's like, that's like you need oxygen to breathe, you know? But one thing I want to say is, and this is relatable for everything, but again, obviously, like, I'm a content creator, I make content online, so I'll speak from it from that lens. But whatever you do, whether that's music, whether that's painting and you put your stuff in galleries and, you know, like, no one's looking at your artwork, or you're making music and it's not getting streams, and you're making good stuff, let's say, for example, and it's actually meaningful, you're just not getting that outreach. One thing I want you guys to remember is, like, views and eyes and validation and all of that, it's an endless pit, bro. Like, it's an endless pit. Without the voice break, it's an endless pit. That, at least for me and my experience, it never actually made me that happy. Because I think as well, if you're getting views for something that that isn't the proper representation of you, you won't actually get that proper fulfillment. Which is why I say lead with authenticity, not with views. Like, yeah, lead with authenticity in mind, not with like a number. Because authenticity takes a longer time. Damn, bro. Yo, nah, keep all that, bro. Keep the voice cracks, bro. This is real. Authenticity takes a long time to build, but it actually brings the right people towards your stuff. And people might not hear it now, and maybe they're not meant to hear it, and maybe it's a part of your journey for people to like reject it, so that you can find a new lane, or, you know, people to not believe in you, so that you can be like, you know, fuck it, let me just keep going. Because that's just a necessary part of your journey. Like, it will never actually look at all of those signals as an indicator of how good what you're creating is. That's not me saying that if you make terrible music, just like keep making terrible music. No, obviously listen to some advice. Listen to like proper people who actually listen to your stuff or actually watch your videos. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's say there's a friend of yours who's like, bro, I can't lie, you know, I like this part of the writing of the song, but the way it's recorded, it's not that great. Bro, that's somebody who's actually trying to give you real advice. But, you know, if like you're looking at your streams and saying, oh, bro, no one's listening to this, there's a myriad of reasons why no one might be listening to it. And don't take that as a sign to stop or to not keep going, because most of the time, consistency is the thing that's going to actually get you there. So, yeah. And when I say like views and that is an endless pit, because it gives you this on to the next mentality, and not in a good way. It keeps you chasing this high. Like, for example, back in the day, I used to like, like, I hate saying stuff like this, but I used to be popping on TikTok, bro. I was getting views, bro. And this was when fashion TikTok first started, so it wasn't a big thing. But I was like popping, like posting 3 times a day, and it became addictive, bro. I was like, oh my god, oh, I got 100K yesterday, so I need to get 100K today. I need to keep going, and don't get me wrong, it's good, but the novelty wears off so quickly, bro. The novelty wears off. And it just showed me, I was like, bro, like, what am I actually creating right now? I looked at the content I was making, I was like, bro, what? I don't care about this. Why am I making this? Like, this is not impactful, bro. This is not impactful. And then pair that in with money and getting sent free clothes and all that. And that's nice. I'm not complaining about it at all. But I know that as someone who truly likes to create stuff, I have a hunger to satiate that's deeper than that. That's like deeper than views or deeper than stuff like that. Otherwise, I'll just go start a business if it was like about money and stuff like that. Views is an endless pit, man. And don't chase it, and don't use that as a metric of how well you're doing. I wanted to read out the question that that somebody sent me. I can't remember who it was, but this is the guest question that we have. He said, yo, I'm like Rakai reading, fam. Yo, one thing would hit is how to stay consistent when you're not seeing results yet, and how to actually find your audience, plus build real engagement during that stage. A lot of us early creatives need that perspective. And I kind of touched on that consistency thing. And that's just the fact that love what you're doing, number one. And number two, also make sure it's like something that is providing you value and that's authentic to you, because if it's authentic to you, you won't be able to stop. And number three, you have to keep going, bro. You need to, I don't know where this mentality was instilled in me or when it happened, but you just have to keep throwing shit at the wall, bro. You have to, bro. You have to. For me, for example, bro, like with this podcast and with everything that I do, like, I personally feel that there might not be a lot of people who understand what it is, might not believe in the vision that I have or anything like that. And that's fine. But regardless, I will keep throwing something at the wall. And I know something will stick. I don't know why. It's like maybe a crazy level of delusion, but I know something will stick. And like, I don't even, like, it sounds corny to say, but I actually don't even think of, oh yeah, there's no possibility where nothing is gonna happen. I don't care if something clicks when I'm 60 years old. It's clicked, I'll be happy. And I find happiness in the pursuit of that. Like, don't think about the end goal and the start goal. Think about everything in between. That's where everything fun happens, bro. Like right now, when I get to sit in this room with nobody else watching me and no crews and no PAs and no, you know what I'm saying, no manager telling me wah. Like, this is enjoyable. Like, so you have to take time to enjoy every part of the process and realize that you're building something bigger, and enjoy that process in the middle. You have to just keep throwing shit at the wall, and, you know, keep throwing shit at the wall. It's just like you play a game of football or whatever sport you play for that moment that you're in, for that specific moment that you're in. Obviously, you know, we're all distracted by like the glitz and glam of like a trophy or an award, but realistically the reason you do something is for that in-between part where you feel alive, when you're creating, when you're dancing, when you're rapping, when you're performing, when you're editing. Like, you just go into this flow state, kind of like, I don't know if you guys have seen Soul. That's really real. Like, when you're just creating, you just get into this zone. So I would say, however you're able to tap into that zone and find something that you actually love, that's true to you, find a way to tap into that, bro. You'll be consistent. And obviously the results will sway you. You'll be like, oh, goodness sake. Like, if you go right now to look at my TikTok views, they suck. But look at the quality of the content I'm putting out. I'm still pushing it because it's something that I actually enjoy, bro. And it will stick, bro. One day it will. I don't know when It might be 2 years from now. It might be next week. I'm not in control of that. I'm just in control of the quality of the stuff that I put out. And same with this podcast here. I'm only in control of how much I create and how much work I put in. And if it cracks and it sticks, then it does. But I'm getting my enjoyment from it right now. Yeah. And how to actually find your audience. Like this question was saying, I think the best way to find your audience is to. There's two ways I feel like I could answer this. I could sit here and be like, do this, this, and this, and give you like proper practical tips. But I don't think that's necessarily useful, genuinely, because I think a lot of the time, like the whole self-help space and trying to better yourself kind of gives you like a bullet point list of things to do, when the best way to do it is genuinely just through experience, bro. No matter what kind of content you want to make, or no matter what you want to do, like actually just start doing it. And I'm not just saying it as like a clip farming moment or something to sound like easy and generic and good, but no, you learn from starting, bro. I don't know anything about podcasting, but I started. I don't know anything about directing videos or, music, but I started. And that's all you have to do. And what you'll learn in that is what you like to create and the audience of people that you want. For example, the audience I want here are people who actually care about the creative process and really love to create things. That's so different from like if I want to make people laugh and entertain them and stuff like that. And you learn that from you cultivate that from authentically being you. So whatever you want to do, make sure that you are yourself truly, and the right people will come and find you. And also through that experience, like I was talking before, you'll realize what kind of people you want watching your videos. If you're making stupid skit content and you only have people like in your comments who are just like laughing and like cracking stupid jokes, and you're like, fuck, like I don't like this audience, there's your answer. But you'll only learn that from trying. There's no formula to this, bro. There's no formula. Just create, your content will get better, and you'll be able to see in the comments, in the views and all that, what kind of audience you're cultivating. Yeah, I think that's a good way to answer it. And my man here is talking about build real engagement during that stage. I mean, again, if you want to build real engagement, there's a lot of ways you can do this, right? I'll give you a couple of tips. I think it's generic stuff, but I guess not everyone knows this. But obviously, having a hook to your video, important. Just go search up what a hook is. It's very important to have a hook. You're going to want something that people can talk about in the comments. You want to be able to hook people in and make them feel connected. Those are the two things you want to do if you want to build engagement. So that could be by doing something that's like relevant to the times, or something that's to do with your community. Like some communities might have like a tagline or something like that they will know is like, this is our thing. And that's what gets people engaged. But even talking about that right there, that just turned me off, bro. It's just boring, bro. You could probably tell I was bored out of my mind, bro. I felt like a lecturer. Oh my God, I'm never answering a question like that again, bro. Oh, bro. That was the worst thing ever, mate. Fucking hell. I'm going to keep that in, but Jesus. Yeah. You want to build real engagement, bro. Be yourself. Like, that's real engagement, bro. Real. No matter what you're doing, there will be an audience for you, bro. There will be an audience. And it's going to take longer. You said that real engagement. You can build fake engagement. You can come on the camera and be a character and do all these different things, but that's not real engagement. They're going to be engaging with the character. Like, for example, like You watch like a video about like Jack Doherty or something like that, and you're like, bro, what is this, bro? This is all like so like Disney Channel-esque, like weird slapstick comedy. And yes, it makes him money. He's a millionaire, and I guess he doesn't really care about all that stuff, and he's just like whatever. But he's just a cornball, bro. And you want to be authentic to yourself and have people who are engaging with your video in a way that actually provides value to you, not just commenting random dumb stuff because it gets you more engagements and comments. So I would say, in answer to that, like, you work backwards instead. Don't chase all of that. Don't chase the engagement, because once you start chasing that, you will get lost in the sauce, bro. Keep creating the content that you want to create, and find a way to create it in a good way that's actually going to reach out to the people that you want, right? Because obviously there's going to be bad content, bro. Like, you can make bad content. I'm not sitting here and saying, oh, like, everybody's hating on your shit and nobody gets you and you're misunderstood. No, like, perfect your craft and keep going and make sure it's good and high quality, and the people that are meant to see it will see it. That's like the best way to have real engagement. Yeah, I think that's the best way to say it. I was waffling a little bit, mate. Yeah, bro. And I think the last thing that I have written here is kind of about that mentality. Is, if not, who else? If not, oh, bro, what? I can't read today. I said, if not me, then who else, bro? I want to leave you guys with that thought. If not me, then who else? Like, say that shit to yourself. If not me, who else? Like, actually, if it's not gonna be me, who else is gonna do it? Who else is gonna do it? I know that what I'm providing for people, creativity wise, entertainment wise, is something that no one else can do. And I mean that on like an individual level. What you're doing is only going to be able to come from you. And I say that because it's so easy to just like get lost in everybody who's creating. And bro, like, for example, everybody has a podcast, but nobody is going to have one by me and my own experiences and my way of talking. And same thing with everyone else, bro. So if not me, who else, bro? Like, you have to really let that soak in and be like, if I'm not going to do it, who else will, bro? Who else is actually going to provide this specific thing that I know I believe in, but I really haven't seen out there? Who else is going to like make this movie from this angle? Who, you know what I mean? Like, I've never seen a movie like this, so I want to make it. Like, oh wow, it got nice and bright when I was talking about that. Fire. Yeah, if not me, who else, bro? You have to really think like that. And it also gives you that hunger I was talking about earlier, bro. It gives you that not motivation, but that consistency, that discipline, like, of like, you know what, this is bigger than me, bro. If not me, who else, man? Let me get out of my bed, bro. Let me take a train. Oh, okay, let me come here and do this podcast, bro. You have to have that mentality of, if not me, who else? Because that's what will keep you going. That's what will keep you consistent, because it will be bigger than you. Like, I have it also written down here that before anything else, you're a human being. I want you guys to remember that. We're not indestructible beings, bro. And getting older, that's something I realized. I have a lot of hunger and a lot of energy, which is great. But at first, I'm a human being, bro. I will not be on the top of my game if I don't accept the fact that I'm just a mere mortal human being. That doesn't mean be lazy. That doesn't mean give up. That doesn't mean, like, slack off. Nah, when it's time to like get working, get to work, bro. But and yeah, when it's time to get to work and have that mentality, like I was saying earlier, of if not me, who else? But also just remember that you're a human being, bro. Like, it's okay to, you know what I mean, like, slow down sometimes. It's okay to like take it easy on yourself. That doesn't mean take a whole 3 days off. No, I saw this great quote the other day which said, never miss 2 days in a row. And that's the best thing. Yeah, one day you might miss. 2 days in a row, that's when you start dipping, you start slacking. So give yourself that time, but know that you're trying to do something that's bigger than you. You're trying to create for a real impact, to reach out to people. to connect with people, and know that to stay consistent, do something that you're actually enjoying, that's a part of you, like, as well. Like, you want it something that's close to your heart and makes you get up every day and be hungry for it, because that's what's going to keep you consistent when you're not seeing the views, when you're not seeing the outcome, when you're not seeing the support. Because one day all of that will come, and at that point in time you'll actually be ready for it. There's a reason you're not big now, and it's probably because you're not ready for it. Like, once it cracks, once you start getting those acting jobs, once you start directing those shoots, once you start getting those views, it's probably because you would have put all that work in and been ready for it. The worst thing that can happen for you is to blow up right now and you don't know what to do with it. You don't know how to stay consistent. Labels start coming to you and they're like, oh, we want to nab you up. Wow. You sign a bad deal, or you start making content that you hate, or you start directing commercials that you didn't ever want to direct because one of your spec commercials blew up that you didn't really care about. So the worst thing that can happen is for you to blow up when you're not ready. So take that in as well as like a little bit of, you know what, I'm exactly where I'm meant to be right now. And that's just being consistent in my craft. Even though I'm not getting that feedback that I want, even though I'm not getting those views, there's a reason. Because when it does crack, at that point, I'll be like, oh, I've learned this, and this. I know how to approach this. I know what this means. I know what this means. I know what I want to do. I'm solid in myself, so that when it does come for your turn, and your turn will come, you're ready for it. Because I've been in a position before where I had all these things and I was younger and I was getting all these views and getting all these brand deals and all these things sent to me, but I had no clue what to do with it because I was just a lucky one-off. And yeah, and I can only imagine what's happening to other people. Like, why do you think there's so many one-hit wonders and all that, bro? Because they're not ready for it. They haven't put in those reps, and it's not their fault, but you need to view it as a good thing. You're putting in those reps, you're consistent, you're perfecting your craft, and one day it will crack, but not today. It's not meant to be today. Slow down. It will hit one day. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. It's been a very all over the place episode. It's been a while since I did a solo episode. It's almost easier to do the guest episodes at this point. I don't know why it's almost easier. I think because it's less pressure on me and I just ask questions, which I like talking to people. But yeah, chat. I don't know why I'm calling you chat. I'm not streaming. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching. I hope that you've been able to get something from this episode and learn about consistency and how to cultivate it, and even when you're not seeing results, how to still stay consistent. So yeah, that has been Organized Chaos Solo Episode 2. Shout out to Joe. Thank you very much for filming this. Shout out to producer Joe. If you like the way this is filmed and edited, you know where to find him. He's linked down below. He's a busy guy, man. So, you know what I mean? If he gives you the time of day, tell him I sent you. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it from me today. OC out. We're done.